Hi everyone, it's 1010 here. So I watched a video done by Dabu77, could be that. I was talking about food shortages in America. So it got me to thinking, and I don't normally post this kind of stuff, but I remember when Trump signed with China a trade deal for goods and services. So part of that trade deal included agricultural goods like meat and vegetables, produce, things of that nature, soy, corn, as well as vehicles, electronic goods, service goods. Now, this happened, I think, right before COVID hit, and we took a big loss, and I think also during that same year there was a terrible winter that took place. So Trump had to sign in, give relief to the farmers and provide money so that they could meet this supply. So we're seeing a supply and demand issue right now, right? When we go into the grocery stores, some places are seeing it more than others. Inflation is happening, and there could be other, reasons as to why. But this is just one thought. Now, the news also says that China's not buying what they promised to buy. But how about this? What if we just don't have it? Think about that. We shut down our country. We had a terrible winter that year. Where do you think your favorite cereal is going? Let's say normally you're used to going to the store and there's 25 boxes of your favorite cereal on the shelf. Now there's only 5 or 10. That's half. They're taking your goods and supplies and they're sending it to China to meet this deal. And you'll say, well, that's kind of silly. Yeah, not a big deal. Probably not that. Like, automobiles are going over there. You look at the auto industry. When's the last time you drove past a dealership? Now, in my area, there aren't really any new vehicles on the lot at all. And they're saying they don't have chips to put in the cars. That particular good could be going to China, or it's from China, and we're not getting it. Our country maybe had good intentions to provide goods, for money to China. We got a trade going, but where do you think our food is really going? If they can't meet that supply, they're going to start going into the supply of the American people. So you're going to see less and less product available to you. And that's just what I think that's going on currently. Again, the news says China's not buying what they should. I don't believe that. We don't have it. So I'll give you an example like yesterday. I've been seeing the price of food go up. I go grocery shopping, and they want to blame the trucking industry, and we all know that the trucking industry, things have been going on, shipments, stuff like that. But the supply, in my opinion, if it's not there, it's not going to be shipped, to where it needs to go, because it's just not going to be on the truck. So like, I'll go out to eat and they're like, we don't have any tomatoes. We haven't had tomatoes for 3 weeks. Tomatoes could be going to China. Like, we don't know. Okay, so Chipotle, I went there last night. They didn't have any meat but chicken. They didn't have the veggie option. They didn't have like sofritas. They didn't have pork. They didn't have steak. They were out of everything. They were out of napkins. They were out of spoons. And you think, well, they just didn't get their truck. That is a possibility too, and we're seeing a lot of like weather issues and trucker supplies issues. But what I'm saying is if there's a squeeze, and let's say 50% of those Chipotle supplies go to China and 50% are here in America, eventually you're going to start seeing that. And I don't think that America was ready for the amount of goods to supply to China when they signed that trade deal. So they're talking about oil too, like different types of cooking oils. that's going to China also. You know, you're going to see smaller bottles of olive oil if you see olive oil or any kind of oil on the shelf at all. Some places see a greater food shortage than others. Now, Florida, you know, we have our own agriculture, here. But even that industry's gone down. You know, like you go to the store, I don't buy the red meat, but the shelves are pretty much bare when it comes to red meat. And they want to say, you know, it's the meat industry. It's this industry. It's that industry. Well, if the meat industry has a deal with the U.S. government, and let's remember that the head of Purdue, he is a head of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. If he makes a deal with the United States, and the United States says, we need you to send 50 to 70% of your goods to China, and we'll give you XYZ, that's what's going to happen. So that's just a thought of mine. I don't normally post things like this. I thought, should I even bother? But I wanted to put this down, my thoughts. But if you have any idea of what you think's going on, I would love to hear about it.